What up, y'all? Welcome back to DJs in Depth, episode number 2. I'm your host, DJ King Song, and in this video, we are going to talk about DJing and racism. If you haven't seen my last video, the last video is about COVID-19 and what we should be doing as DJs while the coronavirus is going on. I felt like it was only right to follow it up with racism because that's kind of how everything's been happening. Sickness and coronavirus happened, and then a bunch of racist crap started happening. So I felt like it was a good segue. So in this video, guys, we're going to talk about personal experiences that happened to me, some racist stuff that's happened to me while I've been DJing. We're also going to talk about what does it mean if a bar tells you not to play a certain genre because of the kind of crowd it brings. I've heard bars say that to me, don't play hip hop because we don't want that type of crowd in our bar. Is that racist? Is it not racist? We're going to go over it. I don't really hear people talking about this kind of stuff. Also, we're going to talk about racial profiling and how racial profiling can actually be a good thing when you're DJing and when you're playing your set. I know that sounds weird, but stick with me. We're going to talk about it. Let's do it. What up, y'all? Welcome to episode 2 of DJs in Depth. Again, I'm your host, DJ King Song, and in this video, we're going to jump right into racism and DJing, okay? I don't hear a lot of people, really going in deep into this topic, man. And if you're a working DJ and you've DJed a lot of gigs, you've done some weddings, you got some stuff under your belt, you know what I'm talking about, man. You have certain situations, regardless if you're white, black, Asian, wherever you're from, it don't matter. You've dealt with some situations where you're like, that didn't really come out right, or that didn't really come off right the way they said that to me. So first and foremost, let's jump right into the topic of what happens if a bar or venue or a gig tells you, not to play a certain genre or type of music because of the crowd it may draw. Specifically, this happens a lot with hip hop. I think that, the black culture is sort of targeted sometimes, the music is targeted sometimes as well because of, some of the content, right? And some of it is very gang related, very violent. Some of the songs are specifically drill music and just certain songs that just are coming out now in general are just very much, outlandish, to be honest. And we like to turn up sometimes. We don't care if it's nonsense, right? Sometimes the nonsensical stuff is the most fun stuff to dance to. But so if a bar or venue or whoever tells you not to play a certain music because of the kind of crowd it brings or draws, there's a couple ways you can take it. It depends on the way they say it. So, if it's a bar where clearly black people or clearly Latino people or whatever, they come and they tell you not to play reggaeton or they tell you not to play hip hop, you can kind of make a determination that they really don't want that crowd at their bar. Now, I think that it's racist to say that. I think it's a form of racism. It's kind of a subtle way of saying we just don't want these people in our bar. We don't want these kind of people in our bar. We're cool with having some of them here, but we don't want them congregating here, right? So when this happens, guys, I'm going to teach you a couple ways to deal with it. First thing you need to realize is, or you need to come to determination is that are you going to take the gig, right? Does that annoy you enough, or are you, do you have a versatile enough set to where if your crowd kind of likes that kind of music, but you really can't play it, what do you do, right? So there are bars out here, guys, that have different levels of floors. So one floor is the hip hop floor, one floor is the top 40 floor, one floor is the rock, 90s rock floor, whatever it might be, right? That's not really racist for them to tell you not to play a certain genre. Or even if it's a bar or a club or whatever it is, it's labeled like a house, deep house club or a, reggae, spot. Like, you're not going to want to go into a reggae spot where they're supposed to be playing reggae or dancehall and hear a bunch of trap music all night, right? Or hear any trap music at all. They've identified their place as a place of, we're going to only play this kind of music. So I will never get mad at a bar doing that. What I will raise my eyebrow at is, again, if your bar is bringing a certain kind of people to your bar and you go up to the DJ, you go up to the entertainment and tell them not to play something because of the kind of crowd it brings. So here's how you deal with this, guys. I'm going to teach you how you deal with this happening if you're ever in a situation in your DJing and you still feel like you want to throw some hip hop songs in. Now, disclaimer, guys, this may not work for people who are new to DJing, right? You're novice or you're beginner, you're intermediate level. You're really not versatile in understanding when a song is playing too long or understanding what kind of hip hop you should and shouldn't play. If you don't understand the difference between Waka Flocka Flame or Chief Keef, Finito or some song like that versus Drake's The Motto or Big Sean's I Don't F With You. If you can't distinguish the reason why those are different kinds of rap songs, then just don't play rap at all. Okay, don't play any hip hop at all. Your safe bet is to just go by what the bar says. For you people who are intermediate level, for my DJs who are advanced, they have a lot of skill, and you don't know how to deal with it, this is how I deal with it, and this is usually works for me every single time. So if a bar tells me not to play hip hop, what I'll do is I'll ease the hip hop in. Meaning if I'm playing top 40 or I'm playing house or I'm playing whatever I'm playing, I may ease a Drake song in. Drake's always good to start with because Drake is universal and everybody loves Drake, right? He has songs that kind of go with every genre. So if I'm on some new disco or some 120, I might throw in Passion Fruit, right? I might throw in some listen, listen, right? I'm gonna throw that on because it has a driving rhythm, right? You got to think of, okay, what's a Drake song that's a driving rhythm that goes with what I'm playing, right? And then you could throw in some Drake and Rihanna, Too Good, and then maybe you could slow it a little more down. You can get to The Motto, which is like 105, 108, right? So you can kind of bring in Drake, bring in a hip hop song, and kind of ease your way down to it if you're at a higher BPM. I think of it like this, guys. This is how you should picture it in your mind. Picture you're a little kid, you're up in your room, you're jumping and bouncing on the bed, right? Your parents are downstairs, they're doing whatever they're doing, they're looking up at this kid like, what is he doing? Why is our daughter jumping on the bed? And every time they're about to walk up those stairs and tell you to stop jumping on the bed, this relates to DJing, meaning every time you kind of feel that you're playing the song too long, or the managers kind of start looking around at the crowd or looking at you, or you're at a venue or whatever bar, it doesn't have to be in a bar, it could be any event, and people are just kind of like, all right, you can kind of feel that they think you're playing too much hip hop. As soon as they give you that kind of vibe, you switch the song, you switch the genre, you play something softer, you play something more top 40, right? Now this comes with experience, guys. You're not gonna just go into a bar and willy-nilly know how to gauge this, but this is the methodology you should be using when you still want to play hip hop. So mom and dad's coming upstairs, right? You're playing hip hop, you're playing this, right? You've played 4 or 5 songs, right? And you just ease out of it, right? And there's safe songs. Drake is safe. Most Big Sean songs are safe. Some Kanye songs are safe, right? You could even throw in one hard trap song for a quick second and then, throw it off, and go to something light, right? It's all about how you tastefully add songs. So again, if you don't understand the difference between trap hip hop, right? You shouldn't be playing Moneybagg Yo. You shouldn't be playing Young Dolph. You shouldn't be playing Key Glock. Don't play those guys. Great artists, but that's for the hood spot, right? If you're at a bar and they're telling you not to play hip hop, again, and you're a seasoned DJ or you've been there before, ease them into it. Throw on a couple songs, right? Throw Mo Bamba in, right? Mo Bamba should be your last song, right? Basically, you want to get to that climactic song. Mo Bamba that's a climactic rap song, right? They're not gonna want to hear another one of those after you play that. You have to switch the song back, right, to something that's like poppy or chill. Now I wouldn't say chill because you still want to keep the crowd going, but like more poppy after you play Mo Bamba if you've already played hip hop songs before that and it's not really a hip hop heavy bar. So that's what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that you have to tastefully do it and have a timer in your head when you're doing it. Again, if you guys have questions about this, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up in the comments. I can teach you or give you a set. I can give you some songs of how I would do it if I were out DJing right now. So the second thing I want to talk about, guys, is that let's go over a couple examples of racism and kind of some other issues that I've dealt with while I've been DJing. So one time I was at a bar called the Tombs, and this is in Georgetown, on Georgetown University's campus. And I'm DJing. It's the beginning of the night. We start there at 10:30. It's probably like 11. There's an older crowd there. Tombs gets kind of the older crowd, sometimes like in their 50s, 60s, alumni. Maybe they graduated with a law degree, or they graduated from med school, whatever it is. Some older white male comes up to me. He's probably in his I say he's in his 60s or 70s. He's an older guy though. Comes up to me with a drink in his hand with kind of a smirk on his face. He's looking at me. He's thinking of something to say. He leans over to me and he goes, "I bet you like chicken and watermelon, don't you?" And I looked at him for a second. I'm like, did this dude just ask me, do I like chicken and watermelon while I'm DJing? He ain't asked me to play a song. He didn't ask for no request. Usually, if somebody comes up to me, whether it be white, black, old, young, they usually are asking me how do I get into it, or, we get trolled, right? And we'll have another video about why we're the target for being trolled. But we get trolled a lot. But typically, it's really just people being annoying and asking us questions and standing next to us all night if we don't have a DJ booth. And this guy literally says to me, "Do you like chicken and watermelon?" Right? So when this happened, guys, I had to think very fast because I didn't get mad. It's one thing you guys don't do. Don't get upset. You're performing, right? It's not just I'm up there DJing. You're performing. So you have to keep your composure. You can't get angry. You can't get mad. You can't throw a drink at them. You can't fight them, because you're going to lose that bar. You're going to lose that club. You're going to use, they're never going to book you again, right? You do a wedding, they're never going to refer you, right? People will come up to you and mess with you because they think that you can't do anything about it. So when he said that to me, you like chicken and watermelon, I just looked at him. I was like, yeah, chicken and watermelon is great, right? He kind of looked at me like, oh, damn, I was hoping, he wanted me to get pissed. He wanted me to get mad. And, don't give them what they want, guys. When you're up there and you're DJing and someone's standing next to you, messing with you all night, do not let these people get under your skin. Again, we are professional DJs on this channel, and I'm going to teach you guys the best way to be professional. Now, there have been some situations, and there's going to be some situations we talk about throughout these videos that I make that are going to be, moments where I've been unprofessional. But, I'm going to tell you guys what you really should do. So in that case, again, if somebody's messing with you, says something racist to you, just say something unexpected. Don't say anything at all. Ignore it, or go get a manager and ask them to escort the person out, right? You can always do that when you're as a DJ. When you're a DJ there, you can get a manager or get a bouncer and either remove them from where you are if they're harassing you, or at least kick them out the bar, right? One or the other will happen, because typically they're going to be on the DJ side. So the next topic I want to talk about, guys, is racial profiling. So, in the beginning of the video, I kind of hinted that racial profiling can be good when you're DJing. And so this is going to be, throughout the series, we're going to have these deep dive topics where, again, we're DJs in depth. We're going real deep into the depths of DJing in this art form. So this is what I would consider a deeper dive topic. And again, we'll go deeper into it maybe in another part 2 of this video. Maybe we'll do an episode 2.2 or whatever. But let's get into this topic. So when we are up there DJing, guys, when you guys are up there and you're doing your thing, I need you guys to be scanning the crowd, right? You need to be looking around, seeing who's from where. Maybe someone's talking in a French accent, maybe someone's talking in an African dialect, right? Maybe they're talking like they're from Germany, right? Some, bars that you guys, or some venues that you guys may be at, may just be white or maybe black. But you may be in situations where you're in DC or New York or Vegas, where there's always tourists. You're in, Miami, you're in, whatever big city you might be in, where there's going to be always different people coming in, right? Different cultures. And so I want you guys to racially profile, right? I want you guys to look and see where they're from. Go up and ask them where they're from. If your set hasn't started yet and you hear people talking, oh, where are you from? What kind of music do you like? Or, right? So I'll give you guys an example. I DJ boat rides called the Boomerang Boat Rides in DC. And, on these boats, sometimes it can completely be random. Meaning, I don't know who's gonna be on that boat ride. It could be somebody's birthday. It could be somebody's 40th anniversary, being married, right? They in their whatever 70s, right? It could be a bunch of white people, a bunch of black people, a bunch of Latinos. Someone had a birthday party and they all just decided to buy tickets just now, right? Someone's about to do a proposal, to their not their fiance, to their girlfriend, right? So I've had situations where all this is happening at one time. So when I start the boat ride, what I normally do is I'll get on the mic and I'll say, if anybody got any special, occasions or while they're here, any birthdays, any shout outs, let me know. And I'll get a line of like 20 people, right? And this is what I do to engage them on the boat, right? I don't want to just be on the boat ride and just play music. I want to get people engaged. I want to talk about, what people are celebrating. So, and I'll get all these things that people are doing, right? So one of the boat rides I was on one time, it was all black people. And I was just like, all right, cool, this is going to be easy. I'm going to just play a bunch of hip hop, right? Like I don't need to play nothing else, right? And after I started my set, probably about 20 to 30 minutes into my set, I realized they're not all dancing. Like some of them are dancing, but not all the black people that are on this boat dancing. This just happened to be a boat ride that was just majority black people. It just happened that way. And so I'm looking around, and then I started to get, I started really like pinpointing, some of these people look like they have African garb on, or they look like they may be from the Caribbean islands. Like they don't just look like regular, like African American, people, whatever. And people say, well, how do you know? It's just, you just look at them, you profile, right? You just got to listen to them talk, right? Some of them have an accent. It's like, you know what? Let me throw on an Afrobeat set. Let me do my best Afrobeat set. And I started that Afrobeat set early because I wanted them to understand, right? When people are from different cultures, they're assuming the worst. They're assuming that you don't know any French music. They're assuming that you don't really know no Afrobeats music except the popular songs, right? They're already going to cancel you out as a DJ because they're like, yo, he going to play, Davido or Fall or whatever. He going to play the normal stuff, right? And maybe you start with that, right? So I might play some Joanna, Joe, right? I might throw that in and you'll see it. Their ears will perk up like, oh, wow. Like, what I want you guys to do, and this is why this is a deep dive topic, I want you guys to look at the crowd, scan the crowd. When you play a song, they won't even, sometimes they'll look at you and go, oh yeah, look what he's playing, look at what she's playing. Or they'll look at each other like, I wasn't expecting him to play that. It's all body language, guys. A lot of what we do is body language. I know some of y'all just sit up there and you're looking at your computer and you're not paying no attention to what's going on, but I want you guys to be better DJs. The way you can become a better DJ is look at who's out in the crowd. Listen to how they talk. Profile them. Oh, they got fair skin. Oh, they look like... I remember another time I was at this other bar in Adams Morgan in DC, and I knew these two girls were from Brazil. There's a bunch of Latinas, people from Venezuela and Mexico and Puerto Rico, whatever they were from. But I was like, they're from Brazil. I knew they were from Brazil. So I started playing some Brazilian music, some Brazilian funk. And immediately when I play that Brazilian funk songs, like when I started playing them, this girl comes over, how did you know? How did you know we were from Brazil? How did you know? I never told you. And I knew it because I could tell by the way they dress. People from Brazil, like they dress a little different. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. They just dress a little different from other Latin countries. And they weren't really, they knew the Spanish songs and the reggaeton songs, but they weren't really getting hyped to them, right? I was like, this is a big song, and they're not getting hyped to this. I'm playing Dura, and they're like, kind of like, Dura, right? They kind of like, they jam into it, but they ain't really going ham. Like, they ain't going crazy. Everyone else is having fun, right? So that's another thing you guys got to look at. How much fun are they having? Why aren't they dancing? This is like a huge song. I'm playing bangers right now, and they're just like standing there. Some people just don't want to dance, but, you have to look at them and maybe even ask them. So this is something that I want to leave with you guys, is that profiling can be good. Look at their facial features, look at their hair, look at their clothes. You can throw that music out there, right? Let the music be the thing that's profiling, right? You got to profile with your senses, right? Your eyes and your ears, whatever, but also use that music. Throw that song out there. If they look like they're from France, throw a French song out there. If they look like they're from Africa, see, then it breaks down, guys. So it breaks down. They're from Africa, but they're from Nigeria, right? So they want to hear Nigerian artists, right? Or they're from Africa. They're from South Africa. So they don't want to hear Nigerian music, right? So you'll get to the point where you'll have people, you'll pop something into their head. So you'll play a Nigerian artist, and someone from South Africa will come over to you and say, hey, you got any music from South Africa? Right? This is your chance to build your library, guys. Okay? Don't tell them no. Right? I know you guys, some of you guys don't want to take requests. Again, we'll have another video about that, about taking requests. That could probably be a whole video. But in this case, you take a request. Your job is to play music, to get people happy, to get people dancing, to get people to buy drinks at the bar, to just have fun. Your job isn't to sit there and play the set that you had premeditated the day before. That's not our jobs, guys. Okay? Any seasoned DJ, Jazzy Jeff, whomever will I've seen Jazzy Jeff on record say this. Our jobs are to get people dancing, get the party started. That's what the DJ. That's the most fundamental thing of what we do. So if someone comes up to you, you're playing African music, or you're playing reggaeton, or you're playing reggae, and they say, hey, can you play some soca? You need to know the difference between dancehall and soca, right? Learn that. If you are playing a heavy Latino crowd and they want you to play merengue, and then someone asks you to play bachata, and then someone asks you to play salsa, or somebody asks you to play cumbia, you need to know the difference, right? Again, if you have questions about this kind of stuff, we can talk about it. We can go even deeper into that maybe in another video. Again, what's the difference between those type of genres? Why are they different? It's really, to touch on it, it's really beat patterns, right? Salsa has a different beat pattern, a different sound, right? Salsa typically has a kind of a flow, and usually has a cowbell that hits on a certain beat, right? So again, we're getting a little deep, but this is where I say you have to understand music, right? You got to go a little beyond just being a DJ. So I want you guys to think about this video, think about what we're talking about here. Let me go through my notes here and just see if there's anything else that we may be missing here. No, you know what? I think we've covered it, guys. We went over some examples. We went over some topics. We went over people being racist, right? Just keep your cool. If it happens to you guys, keep your cool. Don't let anyone take you out of your zone. I've had people call me the N-word while I've DJ'd before. I had some dude call me boy like I was a slave. I've had drinks thrown at me. I've had managers call me N-words. Not even one manager called me N-word and didn't even know I heard him say it. He was talking to somebody else. This is the stuff you got to deal with, right? And don't get it twisted, guys. I've had DJs that work under me and that I send out to different bars that are Asian that have been profiled and called names. Okay, so don't think it just happens to black people. It happens to white people, right? Because what will happen is we'll do those boat rides. And instead of me being on a boat, right? So here's one last thing I'll leave you with, guys. So and that's why I love these boat rides, because they really make you good as a DJ. Or just random gigs where you don't know who's going to be there. You have to really be good and pull out all the stops to get it right. So the example that I'm thinking of was, so when I'm on the boat ride, sometimes people will come up to me who are black, right? And they'll go, hey man, you got me, right? You ain't gonna play no bullshit, right? You ain't gonna play no Taylor Swift, right? don't play no bullshit, man. All right. So they already have this expectation that we're black, so you got me, right? You gonna play? And I tell them, no, man. This is what I say. When I say this, black people, there's white. I do this with my hand. I say, there's black people, there's white people. I'm gonna play a little bit of everything, but I got you. And usually, people are cool with that. So I remember, I sent the Asian DJ, one of my boys, on a boat ride, and it was all black people, and they were sitting there like this. Before he even started, I know this dude gonna suck, right? People will automatically, he white, or Latin people, he don't know no Latin music. You know, and they'll sit there and they'll talk and they'll try to act like, and then as soon as you use that music, that profiling that I'm talking about, they'll come up to you like, hey, dang, dude, man, they dap you up, right? I didn't know you were gonna play that. Wow, can you play this one too? Can you give me one? And you'll learn music, guys. They'll teach you the good songs. I've learned so much good Afrobeat songs, so much good Latin songs, Latino songs, reggaeton songs, salsa songs, just off of me playing a couple to get them started and get them all happy and dancing. And then they come up to me and start giving me more heat to play. And I'll try it, right? If it's not a good song, have another song in the bag, right? Or listen to it in your headphones, guys. That's what you have headphones for, right? Download it, don't play it. Play it on the deck that you don't have playing. Listen to it, and if it goes with what you're playing or it has a good beat, play it, right? So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know what the next video is gonna be about, but I guess we'll find out when I post it. If you guys again have any questions, any comments, leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.